So I want to share a very intense and long-running dream that I had this morning. The earliest thing I can remember in it that sort of ties into the bit that I'm going to go over is I was staying in. I moved into a new room on a university campus. The room itself is sort of like quite small and narrow. It's got this weird sort of angular door with all these. It had like locks on it, but they were like not real locks. They were kind of like clip locks you get on a Tupperware. And I would keep getting like lost on campus and then eventually finding my way back. And the corridors were like huge and wide, like the shopping mall corridors. And then the rooms were tiny. And my room was very white with a bed like right in the middle that's sort of in the way, and skylights and windows along all the right hand side, and a solid wall along the left hand side. And I would go out sort of into the campus, which had some like nice green parts to it, and I'd see friends, and I would like not actual friends that I have, but like imaginary friends from this dream only. And we would sort of hang out, but then I would come back and I would kind of be a little bit disorientated. I would get back and there would be like, there's like a wheelie bin outside my room, but there would also be like random hoodies and like shoes and my like headphones or something, and I would not realize that I'd lost them, and I'd pick them up and take them inside. But then like I'd get my dream started to, because this was like late into the morning. I ended up taking the day off work, but it was late into the morning, and I was thinking about having to call in sick because my entire body is aching. And like I started to think about having to call work in my dream and explain that, oh, I've just moved into this new place and I'm really disorientated and I don't think I can make it into work, which really weird. Because it was still my same job, which is stupid. But I woke up, like I got out of bed again in the dream, and I went to the door, and outside the door again there was like some of my shoes, there was my house keys, and a hoodie and some other stuff, and I picked it all up and I brought it inside, and this kept happening. And eventually I found out that, and like I saw these like girls walking past, like looking at me, like sort of laughing, and eventually we worked out that they were like stealing my stuff and like scattering it, and they kept like putting it in the wheelie bin as well, which meant that it was going to get taken away. So I like brought everything back inside that I could, and the girls, they turned up again, but with like some guys. Like there's like a little like sort of weedy guy. There was a like couple of just like smirking like typical dickheads. There's this one big guy that was like always hammering on the door, and me and my friends barricaded ourselves inside. We locked the door as much as we could. But this guy just kept sort of shoving on it, and the door was starting to come away at the seams, and we were like determined to try and contact like the university security or whatever and get them, but they got in before we could get to the phone. Actually, just before they managed to break in, we figured out that because they hadn't been getting through the door, there was a window that we think one of the girls must have stayed in this room before, because one of the skylight windows, if you pulled on it hard enough, would like come all the way in rather than just stopping at the lock point. So we figured she was getting in that way and stealing stuff. And then so while this is going on, like I'm at some point I'm trying like really hard to hold this door shut, but this guy just keeps like shoving it, and eventually it sort of caves in at the seams, and they manage to get in. And I go for the phone to call campus somebody or other, like a lecturer or something, and they sort of, they don't get to the phone before I do, but then I forget like who I'm trying to call, and they keep sort of, and then I find out that when I do try to call somebody, they've changed all the numbers and made like stupid answering machine messages for anybody that I call. So then I signal to one of my friends who sat near the door to get out, and then like a couple of my other friends leave, but the others follow them. So we all run out. And we all get into like different cars and stuff, and we drive down a motorway. So I see this as an aerial view type thing. And I'm saying how a couple of my friends, like, they're obviously going to get to where we're going first, because like I think I'm near the back with this bigger guy, and I say that they're probably going to get there first, because whenever I drive anywhere, they're always so far ahead of me I can't see them. And it's not like I go slow, and he's like, yeah, I know you don't go slow. And I'm like, all right. Then we get to this place, and again, this is like an actual shopping mall. And we're running over tables in restaurants, and like, I don't know what we're looking for, because the object of the mission seems to have changed. We're looking for, what was it? It was somewhere to do with peace and tranquility. I think it began with an M. I can't remember. But we were looking for a specific shop or room or something. And this place had like the big marble staircases, and sort of like different restaurants, and had an underground section and an upstairs section. And we sort of all like, I was like running over tables and sliding down balconies and sliding down banisters and stuff. And I sent my friends off in various directions to try and find this thing. And eventually we found this pool. And this is another recurring theme in my dreams, is water of some kind. Whether it's a pool or a shower, or like a slippy slide or something. Water is a very frequent, or the sea, actually. I spent a lot of time at sea in my dreams. But like this pool had like words of sort of like religious Buddhist type words written around the edge, and everybody started to jump in, and I jumped in from the deep end, and I hadn't taken a breath, so I ended up sinking down, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, like, there was like things at the bottom. There were like weeds and not sort of like nice things you would usually find in a swimming pool. And I was thinking, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get to the top, and then I woke up. And I have no idea what that was about. These were entirely fictional people. There was nobody I knew in that dream. The whole situation was very... I feel like I've had the dream before, but I'm not sure. The only familiar element really was the water. Oh, and sort of somebody being a pain in the ass and sort of stopping me from doing what I want to do. But the water thing always sticks with me if that happens in a dream. Because I like swimming, I love swimming, but I also recognize the water is a dangerous thing when you're not in control, so I don't know. It was just, it was very... There was a lot of running, there was a lot of fighting, or at least arguing and contentious door pushing and pulling. And there was antagonists, and there was drowning, and it was all fun. Yeah, no idea what it means. That's all from me. Bye.